Buenos días, bienvenidos en nombre de la Fundación Princesa de Asturias a esta rueda de prensa con Eliud Kipchoge, Premio Princesa de Asturias de las Artes. Vamos a dar directamente paso al turno de preguntas cuando se les conceda la palabra. Recuerden, por favor, indicar su nombre y al medio para el que trabajan. Y sin más preámbulos, vamos a dar paso a la primera pregunta. ¿Sí?
Juan Carlos Bermejo, de la agencia EFE. ¿Qué opinión tiene de la competición entre Adidas y Nike en la fabricación de zapatillas? ¿Se debería prohibir o permitir correr con ellas?
¿Puede repetir la pregunta, por favor?
¿Qué opinión tiene sobre la competición que hay entre Adidas y Nike por la fabricación de zapatillas? Y si sería bueno que se prohibiera o se permitiera correr con ellas.
Thank you very much. And that's a good question. The competition between the running or the shoe companies actually is a healthy competition. But you know, it should be allowed to go on because we live in the world of technology. We believe in the world whereby we can allow people to think and express their thinking. And you know, it's not about shoes. It's about athletes actually training in a good way. And, you know, showing their talents that training can make people to break records. And above all is that the real idea behind the shoes is not really, it doesn't actually provide you 100% speed, but it provides you a good recovery after a real hard training. So it's not really super shoes that can propel you to go very fast, but it's your fitness, and then shoes actually is aiding your fitness. So I can say you can allow actually the companies to go on. We live in technology, we love innovation. You know, everybody actually is thinking, and we are proud of actually how people are thinking. We are proud actually of how people actually are expressing their thoughts and put in practice.
Siguiente pregunta.
Hola Eliud, Borja Inza de Radio Nacional. ¿Cuál es el nivel de ilusión que tiene por conseguir un tercer oro olímpico el año que viene en París, ya que tiene 2 en maratón?
I'll be the happiest person on earth to win an Olympic medal for the third time, back to back to back. You know, we are now 3 actually. There are 3 people actually have won twice, including myself. But I will be working really hard to make sure that I win for the third time. It's about making history. It's about inspiring the next generation. It's about telling people actually longevity in sport is what is needed as far as inspiration is concerned. It's about letting that person to get out of the door and run for his health and his and you know, the peace of mind.
Siguiente pregunta, por favor.
Hola, buenos. Bienvenido a Oviedo. Nacho Azparren, de La Nueva España. Yo quería preguntarte por el récord de Kipchoge, la marca, y si te sorprendió y qué te parece.
I was not surprised about breaking the world record because I always believe that the beauty of sport is the breaking of records. The beauty of sport is about competition. Sport is about competing. And you know, if records have been broken every now and then, that's the beauty of sport. It shows that people are working somewhere. People are setting goals and working on those goals. So I was happy to see the record being broken. I'm looking forward for many, many records to be broken because I have shown them the way. I broke the record 2 times. I ran 2 hours, 25 seconds myself, 2017. I broke a 2-hour Paris. I'm in a good way that as an example that I'm giving to the next generation.
Siguiente pregunta.
En la línea de eso, de esta última pregunta, dijo Kipchoge que su idea era intentar bajar ese récord de las 2 horas y que era posible. ¿Cuál es su opinión y si cree que también lo puede hacer usted?
I'm still hungry or running fast, but I'm competing with myself. I set my own my own goals. I treat myself as the best in training and in competition. And I'm really urging everybody to work on this very hard in order for us to compete, to make sure we break the records. I know it's the only way to enjoy sport. If all of us can compete actually in this competitive sport of marathon, then that's the way to enjoy.
Yo te quería hacer una pregunta que es más curiosidad que otra cosa. Cuando preparas una maratón, una competición, ¿tú estás pensando en ese momento, estás planeando ganar esa competición o también estás pensando en batir tu propio récord? No sé si entiendes la pregunta, ¿no? Si tu mentalidad, ¿estás ya pensando en el récord o simplemente tu objetivo es ganar esa competición concreta?
If my goal actually is to break a record, I'm coming for a record. If my goal is to win a marathon, I'll come for a win. If my goal is to run a fast time and win, that's the way. So in training, I envision, I set a goal that I need to run such a time. I need to run fast and win the race. I need to try to break a record. But mostly is that I am trying to actually push my limits all the time. I believe that every race I have an opportunity to push any limit at all. That's the beauty of training. If you train for 4 or 5 hours, you need to put in action what you have been doing for 5 months.
Quería que nos explicara un poco más cuál es su labor en su fundación de ayuda a los niños y también a la protección del medio ambiente, la educación infantil.
My foundation actually deals purely with conservation of environment and education. In conservation of environment, we are top a forest in Kenya, fence and plant the indigenous trees. Behind actually the sacred planting of indigenous trees is that any indigenous trees cannot be felled to actually up to 50 years. So in my mind, I'm happy that if I plant as many as indigenous trees in our country and even outside our borders, we'll be safe for the next 50 years. And I have adopted one in where I'm training. My plan actually is to adopt in every county in Kenya for 7 counties and even to go outside the country. On education is that I built a library in where I come from. But I believe that in future, my foundation actually will build a library in every public school. It will build a good and up to a good kindergarten nursery school in every public school. I believe that if we give the right crown and right education to our 5 to 10 year, to 4, 5, 6 years old kids, then we are building our world. Because if you build those young kids and you have a library in school full of good books, I believe inside the books there is knowledge. Then we are ready actually to develop our countries, we are ready to develop our continents, we are ready to develop our world and take care of our planet. So 2 crucial factors actually are guiding my foundation, conservation and education, which actually if you combine it together is that if you're living in a good, conserved and happy environment, you'll have a good education and you will do anything you want. And above all, if you are a sportsman, a sportsperson or a sportsman or a sportswoman, you need to breathe a clean air. And clean air comes from actually clean environment. You need to drink clean water. And clean water actually comes from a green country, a green world. And you know, when our countries, when our continents, when our world is green, then our water is blue. And when the water is blue, it shows this is clean water.
¿Más preguntas, por favor? Radio Nacional.
¿Qué supone para usted recibir este premio?
This award is critically on my heart. You know, when I received the news, I was overwhelmed, and you know, being recognized actually, as especially in sports sector, is really crucial. You know, with the contribution actually of education, environment, and inspiration that I'm instilling actually to the next generation as far as running is concerned, then I'm happy for this. I'm really happy to actually to receive the award, knowing that I've inspired someone somewhere. And you know, it shows I'm always campaigning to make this world a running world. And it's one way of receiving this award. It's one way actually of making this world a running world.
¿Más preguntas?
Hi, I'm Felicity. I'm Director of Communications for Mary's Meals. I met a young lady in Kenya last week in Turkana who's 13, who lives in very, very difficult conditions. But you are her hero, and she says she runs because it makes her feel free. I just wonder if you could say a few words about the challenges that those children face on a day-to-day basis and the element of running making them feel free.
I'm happy that you actually spotted that kid in Turkana. It's a hard place in Kenya where it's a lot of challenges. No water. The children are really facing a lot of problems. You know, it's really hard to express themselves, food, clothing, water. It's really hard. And above all, if that teen girl actually has a problem, especially with, it's a teenager, and you know, the teenage stage actually has a lot of complications. And you know, they have a lot of problems. I can say actually, it's good that they are taught running. You know, running makes the kids actually to think well. It makes their minds to relax. It makes them to sleep in a good way and forget actually what's coming in their minds. Although they are living in a hard environment. You know, but Turkana is really hard. To express it is really hard, especially with the kids and especially with the girls.
Damos paso a la última pregunta. ¿Alguien quiere formular alguna cuestión más? O, en caso contrario, agradecemos al premiado con el Premio Princesa de Asturias de los Deportes, Eliud Kipchoge, su intervención en esta rueda de prensa, a ustedes su participación. A continuación, el galardonado protagonizará un encuentro con alumnos y docentes que han participado en el programa cultural para centros educativos Toma la Palabra en la Fábrica de Armas de La Vega a las 10. Les invitamos a asistir. Muchas gracias y buenos días.